Our daily Bible reading for December 10th. Our reading today comes from the letter 2 John. 2 John, we'll begin reading in verse 1. The elder to the elect lady and her children, whom I love in truth, and not only I, but also all who know the truth, because of the truth that abides in us and will be with us forever. Grace, mercy, and peace will be with us, from God the Father and from Jesus Christ, the Father's Son, in truth and love. I rejoice greatly to find some of your children walking in the truth, just as we were commanded by the Father. And now I ask you, dear lady, not as though I were writing you a new commandment, but the one we have had from the beginning, that we love one another. And this is love, that we walk according to his commandments. This is the commandment, just as you have heard from the beginning, so that you should walk in it. For many deceivers have gone out into the world, those who do not confess the coming of Jesus Christ in the flesh. Such a one is the deceiver and the Antichrist. Watch yourselves, so that you may not lose what we have worked for, but may win a full reward. Everyone who goes on ahead and does not abide in the teaching of Christ does not have God. Whoever abides in the teaching has both the Father and the Son. If anyone comes to you and does not bring this teaching, do not receive him into your house or give him any greeting, for whoever greets him takes part in his wicked works. Though I have much to write to you, I would rather not use paper and ink. Instead, I hope to come to you and talk face to face, so that our joy may be complete. The children of your elect sister greet you. And a few thoughts for today. In the account of the Israelites that attacked the city of Ai in Joshua chapter 8, we find that the men of that city thought they would do just as they had done before. When the Israelites attacked, the men of the city made the fatal mistake of rushing out to meet the enemy without considering if their own gates were secured. We need always be on guard and watchful. Being vigilant requires we not slumber or sleep when it comes to our faith. Knowing doctrine is imperative to a congregation's safety. Knowing the teachings of Christ is a never-ending quest. Those that believe all is needed on teaching is peace and love have forgotten what Paul told Timothy. He writes, "For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but wanting to have their ears tickled, they will accumulate for themselves teachers in accordance to their own desires, and will turn away their ears from the truth, will turn aside to myths." 2 Timothy chapter 4, verses 3 and 4. Who is responsible for making sure doctrine is taught? In a word, everyone. John's warning is not just for elders or preachers or deacons. His warning says, "Watch yourselves," in verse 8. Now it becomes everyone's responsibility to know who is teaching false doctrine. Perhaps one of the most difficult things we can do is to withdraw our fellowship from those who teach false doctrine. We are specifically told not to receive them into our house. By this, we understand it to mean to continue in fellowship with them. For to allow one into our home with all the blessings is to share in, and in effect, to affirm their teachings. In rejecting fellowship with them, we are making a stand against their false teachings. While our mind may seek ways to find exceptions to such directives, we must trust in God and His Word that it teaches us truth. After all, it is nothing less than the salvation of our souls that is at stake. A question of the day. Do you study the doctrines of Christ? And finally, a thought to meditate on this day. Taking time every day to read, study, and meditate on God's Word helps us to identify errors that others would introduce into the flock. And those are our thoughts for today, December 10th.